Well-being and building a positive culture at work and at home. How do you do it? That's what I'm going to be unpacking for you in this video. So there's three kind of questions I'm going to be answering. What exactly is well-being? How is it kind of connected to culture? Number two is, what's a tool to kind of maybe get started on building culture at work and home? And number three, what's a practical step literally starting today you can actually start doing? So let's kind of answer that first question. So when you think of culture, how is that kind of connected to well-being? They're separate, but they're highly connected. So when you think of culture, what is it to you? When I think of culture, I think of energy. It's emotional energy. So when you have a really engaged culture, people are alive, they're awakened, they're energized. So as a leader at home and actually a leader at the workplace, you're awakening the emotional energy of your people. Okay, so that's when you have an engaged culture. But to have an engaged culture at work and at home, you have to understand people. So that's where well-being comes in. So for parents at home and leaders of the office, they understand their people. And they don't look at people as a one-dimensional. They look at people in a holistic way. And so when you really take care of people and you take care of the well-being of people, you will have an engaged culture. That's why well-being is so correlated with culture. Okay, so that's kind of answering your first question. The second part then is, okay, then how do we build it? So I've been doing this work for a long time, 25 years, with families, with companies. And I noticed several years back, I started studying around the patterns, around families that were fully engaged, fully alive, fully, alive in terms of their culture. And teams, companies that were fully engaged, fully alive. What is the pattern? And I started studying the data, and I started seeing a very significant data and pattern, which is what we call the 6 P's of engagement. This is a tool that we created to teach culture, but also awakens the well-being of the people. So I talk about it in my book for those of you who want more information, The 3 Chairs, How Great Leaders Drive Communication, Performance, and Engagement. But you can apply this tool, 6 P's, to both families and companies. So these are the 6 P's, all right? So in cultures at work and home that are really engaged, they are paying attention to these 6 categories. The first one is purpose. Second is professional, career, or mental stimulation. Third is people. Fourth is profit. Fifth is play. And 6th is physical health. These are the 6 areas that you want to make sure you're paying attention to both at work and at home to awaken the culture of your people. So it's a very holistic mindset, okay? So then the third question is around how do you actually build it? So what we do as a family and as a company is, as a family, we do this with my boys, my teens. In September, they actually set goals according to those 6 P's of engagement. They set their goals every September. As a couple with my husband, as a family, we do actually ours in January. So we will actually sit down, look at the 6 P's, and start setting goals that we would like to work on in the year according to those 6 P's. Okay, so those 6 P's are like the categories, and then underneath that you start setting goals. I'd say recommend between 2 and 3 different goals per category. So for example, under play, you might have like a certain trip, or you might want to do a certain activity together as a family. Under profit, you might actually, creating a budget together. Under physical health, you might want to do a marathon, or do a 5K race. So what you do is you kind of look at the 6 P's and you actually start making goals that you would like to do as a family under those 6 P categories. You do the exact same thing in teams and in companies. If you actually just study, companies that are winning all these awards around the best places to work, you will notice they are actually using the 6 P framework without actually using maybe that terminology. But that's really what they're doing, is that they're paying attention to the whole person. Teams are actually doing volunteering together. They're doing mentoring. They're doing career pathways for their teams. You're taking care of their physical health. If you really pay attention to teams and companies that are doing an amazing job with their culture, they've actually kind of are using the 6 P of engagement framework. And so that's actually how you do it. So you use the 6 P's as your framework, but then what you do is you set realistic goals as a family and as a team, set goals according to those 6 P's, and that's how you awaken and build the culture, and that's also how you take care of your people and their emotional well-being.